here from goodmonday.com. We will continue on the principle of energized discipline, how to overcome aimlessness in life. Now, being aimless in life has its roots in someone being double-minded. If we are not certain and decisive about directions in our lives, then of course aimlessness takes over. So for today's focus, we are going to talk on the foundation of wise living, what it takes to establish a foundation in life so that we will be decisive and not double-minded. What is decisiveness? Decisiveness is not simply the ability to make quick decisions. It is the ability to make right decisions and stick with them. It is about choosing to do what is right based on accurate facts, wise counsel, and clearly defined goals. In fact, to be decisive means we need to have the right foundation. Decisiveness is not something that we can learn at the spur of the moment, but it requires a lifetime of preparation whereby the right foundations need to be in place. Unless there is the foundation of wisdom, there can never be the platform for making right choices. What's the first foundation in building wisdom? It is a realization that you are not the only fish in the pond. There are some who go through life thinking that they are the only smart ones. There are some who go through life thinking that everybody else is there to serve them. But you realize that wisdom is something which we may not necessarily have a monopoly of. It is someone who is humble enough to learn from the experience of others that will do well in life. So before there is wisdom, there ought to be respect. Respect for those who are older than us. Respect for those who have gone before us. In fact, in order to be successful in any particular field, you should first consult those who have already been in the field. If you want to start a restaurant, well, have the humility and respect to talk to someone already in the field instead of making all the mistakes yourself. So it is okay to lose. It is okay to fail, but be ready to learn. Do not go through life thinking that the world owes you a living. Go through life looking for others who have done the living and to learn from them. One of the greatest obstacles to finding purpose in life is pride. Now, how do you know whether if you have pride? Well, it depends on how you respond when criticism comes your way. Now, if you look at it, every criticism has some degree of truth into it. No criticism is a complete lie in and of itself. It is usually an exaggerated reaction to a genuine fault. So if I receive criticism, it is my matured response to be asking myself, what is that seed of truth in that criticism? Although I may feel that a large percentage of what is labeled to me is not true, but I believe very strongly that criticism do not just get thrown at us on its own. There could be some blind spots that I have that requires extra focus and extra attention. I remember when I was in my training business, I did receive quite a number of negative feedbacks, and some of those criticism which I receive do highlight certain areas which I have neglected, the way that I conduct the training, or even some of the tools and resources that I use. So by properly responding to some of those blind spots, it has helped me to improve rather than cause me to go the other way around. Secondly, criticism often opens the door to alternatives. When you are criticized in a particular area, well, it may demonstrate that could be something to avoid. it could also indicate something not to do. So when you know that there is something that you ought not to do, then you pursue something else that you ought to do. So if you look at it, criticism can be taken in a positive way to help you identify your strength and your weaknesses. The key is, are you humble enough to really listen to them? Through life aimless because the foundation by which they build their life purpose is one that is based on circumstances and emotions. Now, circumstances and emotions changes all the time. So in order to have the right foundation of wisdom, we need something which is more lasting. You know, books that are based on technology will come and go, but books that are based on a good life is never really out of date. So if we learn to associate with those who are wise, whether physical friends or those who have gone before us through their writings and through their books, you will find that you will anchor your life on that which is unchanging, life principles which never go out of date. So in that case, your emotions are subjected to true wisdom. So do not neglect the simple habit of reading good literature. As someone once said, good leaders are good readers. So decisiveness requires the foundation of wise living. The 3 steps outlined will help you to put in place the right structure so that there can be right choices and that you will not be left scrambling when the time of decision comes your way. So what is decisiveness? Decisiveness is not just the simple ability to make quick decisions. It's about having right foundations so that there can be an equal commitment to keep to those decisions once you have made them. Following these 3 steps. 1, realize that you are not the only fish. There are other people whom you can depend on for counsel, and you do not have a monopoly of the truth. There are others who know better than you. Secondly, weather criticism. Overcome pride. Have humility to listen for the seed of truth in every criticism that comes your way. And number 3, reflect on wisdom literature. Do not be carried away by emotions and circumstances. Instead, be driven by real life principles that really work. And in that sense, you will have energized discipline that help you to overcome aimlessness in life as you purpose to build the right foundation in wise living. Think about it. This is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com.